Story number 1. I was doing 80 on an empty highway when I realized the man in my back seat had been watching me for the last 40 miles. Not looking out the window, not on his phone, just watching the back of my head. And when I caught his eyes in the rear-view mirror, he smiled and said, "You can slow down now. We're almost there." I'd never told him where I was going. Let me explain how I got here. What happened before that moment was terrifying. But what happened after I pulled over, I still can't explain. My name is Marcus. I was 26 when this happened, driving back from my brother's place in Bakersfield to Los Angeles. It was a Thursday night, technically Friday morning, and my GPS said 1:52 a.m. The 99 was dead empty, one of those stretches where your headlights feel like the only light left in the world. The radio starts cutting in and out because there's nothing between you and the desert but static. I'd made this drive 100 times. I knew every exit, every curve, every dead zone where my phone signal dropped. I had a playlist going, something low and familiar, and 2 gas station coffees in the cup holder. I was tired, but not dangerously tired. I figured I'd be home by 3:30, maybe 4. I'd done it before. Never expected that night to be different. I was passing a rest stop outside Lebec when I saw him, a man standing on the shoulder, no car in sight, one arm raised, thumb out. He was wearing a plain gray jacket, clean jeans, a duffel bag at his feet. Normal looking, mid-40s maybe. The kind of guy you'd see at a Home Depot on a Saturday buying deck screws and a bag of mulch. Nothing about him screamed danger. I told myself not to stop. I drove past him. I watched him shrink in my rearview mirror. Just a man on the side of the road at 2 a.m., getting smaller, and then he was gone. Then my phone died. I hadn't charged it at my brother's. I'd forgotten my charging cable. Left it plugged into the wall at home like an idiot. Without GPS, I didn't trust myself to navigate the interchange at the 5. I'd missed it once before, ended up in Castaic for 40 minutes. I looked at the dark road ahead. No signs yet. The interchange was still maybe 8-9 miles out. Okay, he looked fine, just a guy who needs a ride. I pulled over. In the mirror, I watched him pick up his bag and walk toward me. Steady pace, no hurry. Like he'd been expecting me to come back, like he knew I would. He got in the back seat without asking if that was okay. Just opened the door, set the duffel on the seat beside him, not the floor, the seat, and closed the door with a soft click. "Thanks, man," he said. Quiet voice. Calm. "Going to Wardlaw?" "Yeah," I said. "As far as the 405 junction." He nodded once, said nothing else. I pulled back onto the highway. For the first few minutes, I tried to act normal. I turned the music down a little, not off. I didn't want silence. I watched the road and told myself I was being a good person. It's that most people who hitchhike are just people who need help. Here's what I didn't notice at the time, or maybe what I noticed and chose to explain away. The duffel bag. He'd set it on the seat beside him, not on the floor. On the seat, and it was unzipped at the top. He kept one hand inside it, not resting on top of it, inside it the whole time. I didn't realize that until later. I wish I had realized it sooner. For the first 10 minutes, I told myself I was being paranoid. He hadn't said anything weird. Hadn't acted strange. He was quiet, sure, but some people are quiet. It's not everyone wants to make small talk at 2 in the morning. Then I glanced in the rearview mirror. He wasn't looking at the window. He wasn't looking at his phone. Yes, he was looking at the back of my head. Still focused. Not blinking, or if he was, I couldn't see it. The way you look at something when you're not really seeing it, or the way you look at something when you're seeing nothing but it. The way you look at something when you're planning something, say something, make conversation. Normal people make conversation. It'll break whatever this is. "You from Bakersfield?" I asked. My voice came out steadier than I felt. A pause. 3 full seconds. I counted them. "No," he said. "I know someone there." "Oh yeah, you visiting?" Another pause. Shorter this time he said. "Right on," I said. "You're heading home now?" Nothing for a moment. Just the hum of the road and the static. "Yeah," he said. And then, without any change in tone, without any hesitation, "You can slow down now. We're almost there." I felt my foot lift off the gas before my brain caught up with what I'd heard. We're almost where? The 405 junction was still 22 miles out. There was nothing on this stretch. No exits. No towns. No rest stops. Just the highway cutting through hills on both sides. The darkness pressing in from every direction. "Almost where?" I said. My voice was still level. I'm proud of that, looking back. There's nothing out here for another 20 miles. In the mirror, his smile appeared slowly, like something being revealed. Exit's coming up, he said. Couple miles. There was no exit coming up. I knew this road was nothing. I pressed the gas harder. My mind was moving fast now. Options. What do I have? My phone was dead. There was no one on the highway. If I pulled over and I didn't finish that thought. I just drove. Here's what I did next, and I'm not ashamed of it. I reached into the cuff holder, grabbed my dead phone, and pressed the power button. Nothing. Pressed it again. Held it. The screen flickered. 1% battery. Somehow, some miracle of residual charge. I called my brother with one hand while the other gripped the wheel. My thumb found his name in recent calls. The phone rang once. He picked up. My brother never sleeps well. He told me once. His brain just doesn't shut off past midnight. I'd texted him when I left his place 2 hours ago, and I never called that late without a reason. He knew something was wrong. I didn't say anything, just left the line open and set the phone face down on the passenger seat. "Hey," the man said from the back seat. His voice was different now, quieter, slower. "What are you doing?" "Just letting my brother know where I am," I said. "I do it every time I drive late. He worries." Silence. I heard my brother's voice through the speaker, thin, small, but real. "Marcus, you good, man?" The man in my back seat exhaled.
Controlled like someone recalibrating.
"Pull over here," he said. "There's no exit here. Pull over here." Same tone, no urgency, no threat. Just a statement, like he was reading it off a list. We were on the shoulder before I'd made a conscious decision to stop. My hands just did it. Pure animal instinct. Get him out of the car. Get him out now. Picked up his duffel bag slowly, deliberately, and opened the door. Got out. Didn't say thank you. Didn't look at me. Didn't look back at all. He just walked. Not toward any exit. Not toward any road or fence or light. He walked straight toward the dark hillside at the edge of the highway, and he disappeared into it, like the darkness just swallowed him whole. I sat on that shoulder for maybe 4 seconds, then I floored it. The duffel bag had been heavy. I'd heard it when he shifted it, a dull, dense clunk, not clothes, not a laptop, something solid, something that shifted weight when it moved. My brother stayed on the phone with me for the next 40 miles. He didn't ask a lot of questions. He just talked. Sports, work, stupid stuff. Kept me grounded until I hit city lights. I filed a report with the California Highway Patrol the next morning. They took it seriously, or at least they seemed to. Sent someone to talk to me in person. Wrote everything down. 3 weeks later, I got a call back. They'd found an abandoned car 6 miles north of where I'd picked him up. Parked in a turnout, engine cold. Reported stolen out of Fresno 2 days before. They never identified who had taken it. They never told me what, if anything, they found inside it. They told me the case was ongoing. It was the last I heard. I still don't know what was in that bag. I've thought about it 1,000 times. I've come up with explanations, something innocent, and I've come up with the other kind of explanations. It's the ones that make me feel sick. I don't pick up hitchhikers anymore. Not ever. Not for any reason. And every time I drive the 99 at night, I keep both hands on the wheel, and I don't stop for anything. Story number 2. Our next story comes from you, darkroot_Donnie. If you've ever driven alone on a dark road and felt something was wrong, this one will stay with you. If you've ever felt like someone was following you on a dark road, trust that feeling. Trust it completely. Don't talk yourself out of it. Trust it. My name is Donnie. I was 29, driving home from a late shift at the hospital as an intake coordinator. It was 2:47 a.m. A rural route outside Asheville, North Carolina. It was 20 minutes of trees and hairpin turns. No streetlights, just 2 lanes carved into a mountain. I'd taken this road for 3 years. I knew every curve, every pothole, every place where deer liked to stand. It was just the drive home. That night, I was exhausted. A 12-hour shift, 3 emergencies. My feet ached from standing on concrete floors. I had the window cracked for cold air to keep me alert, and a true crime podcast playing low, darkly funny in hindsight. A car appeared behind me about 6 miles from the hospital. Far back at first, just 2 headlights in my mirror, distant and small. Then closer. I didn't think much of it at first. People drive this road. I moved toward the shoulder to give them room to pass if they wanted. They didn't pass. I slowed down slightly. They slowed down too. Maybe they're just cautious. It's a winding road. Maybe they don't know it well. Maybe they're tired and just following my taillights. I sped up to my normal pace. They sped up too, exactly matching me. My stomach did something uncomfortable. By mile 4, they were closer. By mile 7, they were close enough that I could see the shape of their headlights in detail. By mile 11, they were directly behind me. So close that their headlights flooded my entire rearview mirror. I had to tilt it up. I couldn't see anything behind me. No car shape, no driver, nothing. Just pure white light filling the mirror. I drove past my turn. I was not going to lead someone to my house. I was not going to pull into my driveway with an unknown car behind me. My hands were shaking a little as I found my phone and called 911. I told the dispatcher exactly what was happening, exactly where I was. She was calm. She told me to keep driving and head toward the Shell station on Route 9, about 8 miles ahead. Police would meet me there. Keep driving, don't stop, don't engage. The car stayed with me. Every turn I made, they made. I tested it. Twice I took curves faster than I should have, pushing my little Honda harder than I liked. They stayed with me. I could feel them back there, like a pressure, like a hand between my shoulder blades. 7 miles of that. 7 miles of watching that white light in my mirror and counting the turns and talking to the dispatcher. Then I remembered something I'd read once. An article, a Reddit thread, something.
Ow!
About what to do if you think you're being followed. Coming up was a long curve with a gravel driveway on the right side. I'd noticed it before. Some old farmhouse set back from the road. I accelerated hard into the curve, pushing the car, got around it. The moment their headlights disappeared behind the bend, I killed my own headlights and jerked the wheel right, pulling into that gravel driveway. Killed the engine. Sat in complete darkness, barely breathing. I heard the car. It came around the curve fast, too fast, and blew past the driveway without slowing. I saw it for maybe 2 seconds. Black sedan, no front license plate, moving at least 70 miles an hour. Then it was gone. I didn't breathe for another 15 seconds. Then I started the car, turned the headlights back on, and drove to the Shell station. I was already there when the police arrived, 14 minutes later. I'd watched the clock. Every one of those 14 minutes, the black sedan was gone. No trace. They took my statement. Agreed it sounded deliberate. Said they'd run patrols but couldn't promise anything. I drove home with a police escort, checked every room, locked every door. But here's the part that keeps me up at night. The part I haven't gotten to yet. When I got home and pulled into my driveway, I sat in the car for a moment before going inside, just sitting, decompressing. And I looked over at the passenger seat. There was something there. A folded piece of paper. White folded once. I hadn't put anything there. I'd come straight from a 12-hour shift. There was nothing in that seat when I got in. I was certain of it. I unfolded it with shaking hands. It was a receipt. From a gas station, a Shell, actually not the one on Route 9, a different one. Time-stamped that evening at 10:14 p.m. My shift had ended at 11. Someone had been inside my car before I got in. Well, it sat in the hospital parking garage. They'd been in my car, sitting in my seat or the passenger seat. And they had left this whether by accident or on purpose. I still don't know. I don't know if they were waiting for me and I surprised them when I arrived. I don't know if they had time to do anything else to the car. I don't know if what happened on the road was connected or a separate thing entirely or one terrible plan that I managed to stumble out of. The police took the receipt. They checked the gas station. The camera footage from that evening was corrupted. The attendant said it happened sometimes. It never found a match. I bought a dash cam the next morning, front and rear. Started parking in a different garage with better lighting. I checked my back seat every single time, without exception. Before I unlock the car, I look in the back seat. And I changed my route home. Drive 20 minutes out of my way now to stay on a lit road. 20 minutes. Every night. Because some things are worth 20 minutes. Story number 3. Our last story tonight comes from you, reststop_Ryan. This one is short. Some things don't need many words to destroy you. I was 23 summer, just finished my first year out of college. I was doing what a lot of people do that first free summer. A solo road trip. No real plan, just drive, see things, figure out what I wanted my life to look like. I'd started in Chicago, gone down through Nashville, caught a music festival in Tennessee over the weekend. It's 3 days of camping and music and forgetting about everything. It was one of the best weekends of my life. Sunday night, turning into Monday morning, I was driving back north. I'd been on the road for about 4 hours. The festival crowd had thinned out early, so the highway was quiet. Almost no one. I started feeling it around 3 a.m., that heavy, creeping exhaustion where your eyes start to defocus. The white lines on the road begin doing things they shouldn't. I'd had 2 energy drinks, but they weren't working. My body was done. I pulled into a rest stop at 3:15 a.m. It was one of those old Tennessee rest stops. Brick bathroom building, vending machines, parking spaces. Under a single overhead light that buzzed and flickered slightly, the lot was empty. Or it looked empty. One other car at the far end. Dark. No movement. I parked in the middle of the lot. Not too close to the bathrooms. Not too close to the other car. I cracked both front windows about an inch. Just enough for air. Reclined my seat as far as it would go. And put my jacket over myself like a blanket. I was out in maybe 2 minutes. I woke up at 4:33 a.m. I know the exact time because I looked at my phone the second I opened my eyes. What I saw made me need to anchor myself to something real. I woke up because of the feeling. You know the one. That feeling where your brain comes online before your body does. The first thing it's telling you, loudly, urgently, is that something is not right. Not a dream, not residual anxiety, something outside of you, something present, something now. I opened my eyes. There was a man standing outside my car, passenger side window. He was standing about 2 feet from the glass, facing the car, perfectly still, not looking around, not walking anywhere, not doing anything at all, just standing there, facing me in the dark. The overhead light was behind him. I couldn't see his face. It's just a silhouette, average height, heavier build, wearing what looked like a dark jacket. His arms were at his sides. He wasn't moving. He was just standing there, watching. I don't know how long he'd been there. I don't know how long I'd been asleep with him standing 3 feet from me. That thought that I'd been unconscious and vulnerable while he stood there in the dark has never fully left me. I reached for my keys without moving anything except my arm. Slow, quiet. I didn't want him to know I was awake. I started the car. The engine turned over and the headlights came on and flooded the parking lot. I saw him clearly for maybe half a second in the sudden light. He didn't move, didn't step back, didn't react, just stood there. Now visible, still facing the car, still. I put it in reverse. My tires threw gravel as I backed out. I didn't look at him again. I drove out of that lot doing 35 miles an hour. I did not slow down until I saw the lights of a Waffle House 6 miles up the road. 6 trucks in the parking lot. Every light blazing, the most beautiful sight I'd ever seen. I parked under the brightest light in the lot. I went inside. I sat at the counter. The waitress was a woman in her 60s with a silver braid and tired eyes. The kind of steady manner that comes from decades of seeing people come through the door at 4 in the morning, looking exactly like I probably looked. I told her what happened. Not all of it, just enough. She nodded slowly. She refilled my coffee without being asked. "There's a reason we're open all night, honey," she said. "People need somewhere to be." I sat there until 6 a.m., until it was light outside, and there were other cars on the highway, and the world felt solid again. I called 911 from the parking lot before I left, gave them the rest stop location, described the man as best I could, told them about the other car in the lot, the dark one, the one I hadn't thought about since I woke up. Here's the thing I haven't said yet. When I tore out of that rest stop, I looked in my rearview mirror. Just once, and I saw him, the man, standing in the lot, watching my car go. And then I saw him turn, slowly, calmly, and walk toward the other end of the lot. Toward that other car. The one that had been there when I arrived. The one that had been dark and still and quiet the whole time. There was someone asleep in that car. I know because I could see the outline of a person in the reclined seat. As my headlights swept across it when I reversed, I saw it for 1 second, and then I was gone. Police sent a patrol car. It took them 22 minutes to arrive. By the time they got there, the lot was empty. Both cars. Both people. Gone. The officer I spoke with on the phone afterward said they found nothing. No evidence of anything. Said people stop at rest stops all the time. He said maybe the man was just disoriented. stretching his legs, not meaning any harm. Maybe I don't pull into rest stops alone anymore. I don't crack my windows. I don't sleep in my car on solo drives. I push through until I find a motel, even a bad one, even an expensive one. Locked room with a deadbolt and four walls. And I think about that other car, that other person, whoever they were, whether they woke up, whether someone was still standing there when they did. I hope they drove away. Hope they drove fast. And didn't look back and found their own Waffle House with all the lights on. I hope that's what happened. But the lot was empty when the police arrived. Both cars, both people, gone. Drive safe, check your back seat. And if something feels wrong, even a little, trust it. Because the people who ignored that feeling, they don't get to make YouTube videos about it. I don't drive at night alone anymore, and if I have to, I call someone. And I don't hang up until I'm inside my front door. With the deadbolt thrown,